it is Erin here from Timber Flooring Clearance Centre, and I'm going to tell you a little bit about what I've discovered over the years about engineered oak flooring. So engineered oak flooring is beautiful. I mean, it is absolutely stunningly beautiful. You can see here the variation you get in it. You get lots of gum veins and knots and variation. You can have them, you know, sometimes they come stained like this, sometimes they're natural, sometimes they're smoked. There's all sorts of different ways that they can be done. Sometimes they're textured with saw cuts and things like this. So there's darks and lights. This isn't the whole range, by the way. This is just a few I've pulled together to just do this little quick video for you. So what do I mean when I say engineered? Engineered means that the little 2, 3, 4, 6, whatever mil on top is actual oak trees. A little sliver on top of typically a plywood base. They can be either floated or direct stuck. While I'm holding this, I'll just explain what this is. This is what we call a nested length. So with most oaks, pretty much all oaks, you will get a couple of nested lengths in the box. So of a box that might have the equivalent of 6 full length boards, you might get 1, 2, sometimes 3 that will come like this, like a third and then a 2/3 length or a half length. What you typically use those for is your starters and cuts. So at the start of a row, or when you've got to finish a row and you only need this much, rather than cutting a beautiful full length piece, you use these to cut. They can also be used, they're good for like when you're doing the wardrobes or the pantry or that kind of thing. So just be aware when you're buying an oak, they will come with that. Don't expect a full box of full boards. It very rarely happens. So they come in varying lengths with thicknesses, just like most things. You can see here this French drape at the moment is a whopper. That's a massive 300 mil wide. That's not very standard. Most of them would have it either a 190 or a 220. At the moment, most are 190s. That seems to be the standard that most people like and like the price of, because obviously the wider you go, the thicker you go, the more expensive it is, because it's more of the tree you're using and more of the tree they're sort of wasting as they're slicing those big slices of trees. So yeah, again, with anything natural like a timber or an oak, you'll get lots of variation. So you need to be aware that what you see here is not necessarily, well, in fact it isn't the exact board you'll be getting at home. You'll get the same stain, the same batch, all that sort of stuff, but depending on the color of the actual tree underneath, sometimes it'll be lighter, sometimes it'll be darker, there'll be more gum veins, more knots, less, whatever. So just be aware when you're buying a natural product that it is not going to be exactly the same as the sample you see, as opposed to laminates and hybrids, which are man-made and you'll get exactly the same as what you've seen here in store. So the things to think about are the texture, the width, the general color, the general look. Now with oaks, they're typically quite soft. As far as Yanker ratings on trees and things go. So just be aware of that it is typically a soft flooring. So things like high heels, dropping things and that kind of thing will definitely dent it. It can scratch, it will scratch, all that sort of thing. So just be aware if you're the kind of person that's going to get upset by scratches and dents, oaks and timbers are probably not the way to go. I personally think it's part of the character of an oak or timber floor to have some scratches and dents and for it to look a little bit loved. With the denting and scratching though, I do just have to say, I personally over the years have found that oaks can stand up to that, although they're softer than timbers, a little bit better because they generally come already textured. The scratches and dents can kind of just blend in a little bit, rather than on some of the timbers which have a smooth surface, for example, the scratches and dents can show up a little bit more. So just be aware of that, please. It is hard wearing. You can sand timbers and oaks back. No one really ever does, but you can. But yeah, they will do that, but they're beautiful. They're stunningly beautiful. It's the kind of thing people are going to compliment you on. It's the kind of thing that's going to raise the value of your home if you're looking to resell it. For example, particular, you know, if you're looking for sort of in certain suburbs and dollar values, people will expect a timber floor. They can be direct stuck or floated. I can't remember if I said that. Some will come click, some will come tongue and groove where the boards need to be glued to each other. And I think that's about it. We've got a fairly big range of oak. They start at about $50 a square metre, maybe a little bit less for a few of them. And at the moment, our very most expensive is the Whopper, the $99. But most of them, again, are around which I try to keep them below about 65, 55 to 59. which is just yeah, by far the best price of anyone on the market. All excellent quality. I'm really picky about the quality. I only buy really good quality stock, so that you know when you come in, you can just choose a color you like. Don't get too hung up on. Personally, this is what I've discovered again from feedback over the years, the thickness, the width, all that sort of stuff doesn't matter too much. It's the color that is what you're going to be looking at every day as you're sitting on your couch. And that's, I think, all about I wanted to say about oaks.